I'm back, I'm Gerty rude, back again, the Tuesday mood. Well, I'm sorry if I'm creaky, but croaky and creaky, well, I'm creaky anyway. I've got a bit of a thing going on. Lots of people have got this virus, and it's a horrible one. It's COVID-like, but not, if you know what I mean. But COVID was just a bleeding flu anyway, so it's kind of like that. And it leaves you all croaky and, like, one loses one's voice, which my family rejoice at. Yes, they light extra candles. Yes, they do when they go to church. In fact, they never go to church, apart from when I lose my voice. I don't know what that's telling you. But anyway, I'm back here, crazy to get rid of Nigel Farage. Alex Phillips reveals the truth about Reform UK war with Rupert Lowe. Okay, because I've heard Rupert's side. I think he was given a pretty fair hearing last night with Dan. And as you all know, I'm Team Rupert. Nigel Flange, I once saw him, because he pretends to be a man of the people. I like a pint and a cigarette and all this. He's a banker. He was Baring's Bank or something, wasn't he? Coots. He's probably Coots. Stockbroker and all that. So, yeah, man of the people. Yeah. And where he lives, I know where he lives. You don't get any men of the people that live in his village. To get me, capiche? Yes! So there's that to it. It's a lot of grandstanding and showboating. But I once saw him, funny enough, speaking to a rather large lady in leggings, which wasn't me. So, not that I would never, it's a danger to the public, I would never do that. I'd be done for an outrage to public decency, darlings, if I sported leggings at any given moment. But no, a rather large lady in leggings tried to strike up a conversation with him once. He was out doing his glad-handing thing. Oh, hello, I'm there. When she started speaking to him, he just recoiled in horror. I don't like that type of hooey hypocrisy, because he makes out he's a man of the people. He's literally not. And also, like, the disparaging comments he made about Clapton-on-Sea or Southend or wherever it was that he went to be an MP. He didn't want to be there because, oh my God, I couldn't be anything more gassy than spending my weekends in Clapton-on-Sea. And that was something he said a few years ago, and now he's like MP for it, because it suited him to be. And it's a very deprived area. A lot of the seaside towns had their former glory in the Victorian and Edwardian times, and probably up to 50s at the stretch, the 70s, very, very stretched the 70s, and from then on, all the seaside towns around Britain have just been in decline and very deprived areas. Really, and I've seen it incredibly in Eastbourne, which was one of the last bastions of not being like that, because it was in it's owned by the Duke of Devonshire, most of the land in Eastbourne, so it's obviously a different kettle of fish happening there, but even that's gone downhill. So yeah, him having that snobby attitude, just I don't like. And I don't like the way he treated Ben Habib, and, well, I've been on record saying what I don't like about him, and there's quite a lot. So, you know, and I'm sure he wouldn't like me either, and not because of the leggings. No, he just wouldn't like me. So there's that. But I do like Alex. So should we just jump in and see what Alex has got to say quickly? Shall we just do that? We do, because she used to be in the Brussels Parliament. She was an MEP. Let's go.
Of Nigel Farage.
Nigel Flange.
You stay close to him, but I know you also have a lot of respect for Rupert Lowe.
I love Rupert.
What's your take on this? Is there a way that this can be resolved, do you think?
Yeah, I mean, hopefully it'd be great for this to be resolved one way or another, because
I think he's a spent force, Flange. I think he was the man for all seasons, or the man for the season that was getting the Brexit thing, but he never really got it done. I've lived through enough elections where he's thrown his toys out the pram at the end of it, and he only got in this time for some hooky nonsense and roping in a lot of dupes, really, to believe that he is the new Messiah, which he isn't. He's very much, well, let's look at it this way. He got on the ticket of, oh, yeah, stop the boats, and now he's got his feet under the table in Parliament. Oh, well, you know, immigration, blah-de-blah, there's not a lot we can do. Shut up. I'm over him. He's just meet the new boss, same as the old boss, isn't he? It's like the end of the scene in George Orwell's Animal Farm, and they've looked through the windows, and they looked through the farmhouse window, and they looked from one animal to another, and they couldn't tell any difference between them, the farmer and the animals or something. I read it like when I was about 12, so forgive me if I can't remember it, but it was basically that. The pigs have sold them that we are the people, follow me, like Nigel did with the Reform and all the middle-aged old gammons. pale male stale sort of people that have galvanised across the country to support Farage like he's the new bleeding messiah. And as I say, now he's got his feet under the table, like the pigs in Animal Farm. He's wearing the farmer's suit, he's smoking the farmer's cigars, he's sat at the farmer's table and he's drinking the farmer's whiskey. So, and the animals are still outside hungry and in the cold and the dark. That is the perfect analogy of what's happening with Reform at the moment. Will it get better under Rupert Lowe? Would it be any better? Rupert Lowe is a pensioner. Like he said, he's 67, he's drawing his pension. And he could just sit at home, put his feet up. So I trust him more. And also I like Ben Habib. I think Ben Habib is a keen intellect. I like people with keen intellects. And Nigel hasn't got a keen intellect. He's, he's just a one-man band, isn't he, really? He's a one-man band. And Richard Spice, don't even get me going on Richard Spice. I don't mind his wife, but Richard, shush. No, please, no Spice. No Spice today, not for me, not for Gert. Come on, Alex.
What we do know is divisions in parties really don't play well publicly. We saw that with the fallout within the Conservative Party. And we live in a very strange era politically now, where things once upon a time that would have happened behind closed doors, disagreements and arguments and disputes, and let's be fair, that happens in marriages, it happens in workplaces, it happens in offices, and it especially happens in politics, which is a high pressure environment, ideologically driven. It's unlike any other workplace you can imagine. So normally this sort of stuff would have happened behind closed doors and would have been concealed, and yet what we live in now is a sort of minute by minute news environment where you've even got the President of the United States having a Twitter spat with the President of Ukraine, and it's this whole
should we talk about Twitter? Because it seems to have been attacked, doesn't it, darlings? It does seem to have been attacked. I wonder who could possibly have attacked the Twatterati Twitter twatters. Oh, well, countries are going to fall, aren't they? If they're not sat on bleeding Twitter all day, all the media and political class and all the useless arses and narcissistic psychopaths and weirdos across the globe. Oh, they don't know what to do themselves. Good. I love it. I hope it don't go back up. I hate Twitter. And, I've heard people moaning, they've been attacked by the Ukrainians, they've been attacked by the bleeding Palestinians. I don't know who they've been attacked by, but I'd shake their bloody hands, I'd hold their coat. Twitter isn't a force for good, it's a force for evil. And don't go on there, hate the bloody place and hate the people that go on there, unless they're sort of like my mates, or I know a few people that do go on there, but they go on there to defend people that are victimised all the time, and bullied, and cyber-terrorised. So kind of like, well, you shouldn't have to do that. It shouldn't be a platform that thinks it's okay for somebody to steal an image of a half-dressed child, post it, repost it on their channel on X, rather than the platform it was taken from, which in this case was actually Instagram, and the account was locked, and stole that. They could have picked one of 70 photographs. They picked that one where he partially dressed, only in shorts, and reposted it on Twitter, and then for the delectation of the national globe, really, the international globe. When you report it, they said, oh, no, they haven't broken any terms and conditions, they haven't broken any guidelines. No, because we basically haven't got any guidelines. And there's another time I was talking to somebody privately, and I was saying, I'm getting my house spick and span for Christmas. It's a British term. It means you're cleaning up, spicking and spanning, you know? It doesn't mean anything like a 70s slur word from America, talking about Cubans, right? It's not that. It wasn't that. It's a British term that dates back centuries. And I just said it, didn't even think. I just went, oh yeah, I'm cleaning the house, making it all spick and span ready for Easter. I got blocked for 12 hours. Oh, you did this, you violated our things. Go f*** yourself. Do you get me? Go flip yourself and take Elon with you. And he's grandstanding around the bleeding gaff, holding his kid everywhere on his shoulders, like using him as a bulletproof bleeding vest, yeah? That's my opinion, I'm entitled to it. Going on about grooming gangs, and everyone's entitled to go on about grooming gangs, doesn't matter who they are, speak and preach. Preach, and the more that people speak about it, the better. But he actually does very well out of letting kids in not the Ukraine, in the Congo, mining lithium on subsistence, nothing, a bowl of bleeding mealie meal a week, if they're lucky. And it has to be children, because they're the only ones small enough to get their little hands and their little bodies down into these holes to dig up the dirty minerals that are needed to fire his stupid bleeding Teslas. And he's got a cheek to stand there and going on about the grooming gangs. How about you sort out the children in the Congo that you are actually profiteering off of? That's child abuse in my mind. Of course it's child abuse. He could build them all a bleeding house. Sod it, he could build them a bleeding village. But no, he's like every other rich billionaire the world over, and I've got no time for him at all. No time whatsoever. And to me, I think he's special, but there you go, that's my opinion too. And I also don't think he is who he seems to be, but that again is my opinion. So come on, Alex.
That we're having to embrace and kind of get used to. But I think there's a tacit lesson here that has always been true and should remain true, that I think most people need to heed, which is don't wash your dirty linen in public. Now, Nigel's one of my closest friends. I adore that man.
Yeah, well, you can adore him all you like, love. I don't know what that means in English, but anyway, love you, but we're gonna have to get me. Yeah, because basically what happened is Rupert Lowe is supposed to have threatened somebody in his parliamentary department office, woman, something or other that no one believes or cares about. Get on with your bloody jobs and stop whinging. And apparently she didn't say anything at the time, but as soon as she fell out with him, then she brought up this problem, said he'd done something he hadn't, or I think he said he'd done something he hadn't. Then when he went to speak to the parliamentary bloke, they're all muggy snobs, yeah? Oh, sorry.
Yeah, lay down.
Sorry, Alex. I don't like to leave people in the altogether. Yeah, so when it actually came out and he tried to sort it out through the parliamentary channels, oh God. Hang on, don't. Right. Sorry about that. It's Johnny Depp, he won't leave me alone, you know. So when he tried to sort it out through the parliamentary channels, hang on a minute, let me just answer this. Hang on, can you call me back in a couple of minutes? I'm busy on the other line. Is that all right?
Yeah.
Thank you. Right. Oh, they're all after me, you know. They want a bit of Gert. So that is my real life. It's like I do a vlog, but you can't see me, yes. So it's like the sort of hotline to the White House at the moment in my house. So yeah, what was I going on about? Anyway, it's basically that. And when he went to sort it out with the parliamentary bloke, he didn't. He said he was rude to him when he threatened him with violence, so he called the police. The parliamentary bloke, not Rupert. I mean, well, I don't know what a pensioner of 67 is going to actually do, but there you go. Anyway, so let's carry on, because I'm bored.
I've my life for him. He's brilliant. There's no political leader like him. And Rupert is someone I also know really, really well. As a former Brexit Party MEP, he is.
Could somebody actually be in there stirring the pot? Could somebody actually be there stirring the pot and causing trouble? So they've got people that have interloped into their network and worked their way through, and they're purposely causing trouble for another person or another entity or another organisation. Because I can see that there'd be lots of people around Westminster that would be really happy to take Reform down. Basically, I've never thought they were up. Every time, do you know what? Every time I think of Reform, all I see is a load of pale male style old gammons that like bullying women, and then have the cheek to go on about Muslims this and Muslims that. Anyway, I've had enough, and I expect you've had enough, so I think we'll leave it there, because it's basically that, and nothing more could be said.
So sharp, he's so bright, he is, real credit, actually, and I think he was really making...
It's gonna continue along the same way, darling, isn't it? You support Nigel, but you support Rupert, but not nearly as much as what you do Nigel, and I'm the reverse to you. So I don't know why they just don't get rid of these people and let women. And when I say women, I don't mean lefties, and I don't mean righties. I mean just normal women, common sense, because we do have common sense. We've got intuition. We've got a lot of. We can multitask. We've got so many, characteristics that men actually don't have, and the ones that get high up in the Democrat or the Labour Party are just nuts, aren't they? They don't think with their brains. They think with every other part of their body apart from their brains. Whereas if you've got common sense, you think with your brain, yes, and then the body follows. Well, you listen to your body, because your body instinctively tells you when you're facing a load of BS and hooey. So with that, over and out. I love you and leave you. Wherever you are in the world, have a fantastic afternoon, evening, good night. And remember, I love you all, individually, each and every one of you. Yes, I do. And I doff my cap. I do. I genuflect to you, generally. So, bye-bye now.